So good afternoon, everyone. So my name is Jian Lu. So I have been in this research activities for more than 35 years. So I have been also worked with many global companies for developing new projects, from ideas to project to product, and also from basic research to application. Many people think for a researcher, the greatest achievement is to discover some disruptive things, then publish in the top journal. I think it's a very important thing. However, if you ask me the same question, I will say it's the same than the Indiana Jones. For finding the Holy Grail, because he was so excited when he found the Holy Grail. Why? In fact, this is very important for him, but if you ask me the same question, I think I will think it's the greatest excitement for finding the Grail, but I will fill it with water so that lives can be saved. So development of good research is great. However, if you make it with some real application, it's even better. This is what I want to share with you today. What is the added value in science and technology by pushing the envelope? So, as you know, by pushing envelope, what's the characteristic of the envelope and how to push out of the envelope? To me, the most important thing is uniqueness, best, and disruptive. So we can describe a new envelope using these three keywords. So today, I will show you some example of this through our research work. The most important thing is how to develop something out of the envelope. So I just give you one first example. The first example is after defeat in battle, the King Beru in India present a gift to Alexander the Great, the winner. What's the gift? The gift is Indian woods in steel, Indian woods steel sword containing within a gold box. So what that means? That means 2,300 years ago, gold is cheaper than the iron, or is cheaper than steel, okay? Why is that? In fact, the added value is in the mastering of the temperature. As you know, at that moment, very few people can mastering the composition and the temperature. So the one who has some technological advantage, he can sell the product with much more higher price than the existence of the metal. So this is the first lesson. Gold may be cheaper than steel. Today, of course, is totally different because due to the resource limitation, gold is much more expensive than the steel. So how to push out of the envelope? In fact, I think what we need to do is to face a different type of research challenge, such as conflicting property. So I just take the example of strength and ductility. So as you know, for the majority of material, when you increase the strength, the ductility reduces. So how to combine these two conflicting properties together? This is the work of material scientists. So nanotechnology is one of the key solutions to meet this objective. So before, as you know, I know that many people has no knowledge about the material. So for this reason, I want to introduce you about some background information. So in the nature and in the man-made world, basically we can distinguish the material as a crystal, polycrystal, and amorphous. So the majority of the material are under the form of polycrystal, okay? However, due to the defect inside of the polycrystal, then the strength is not very high. And single crystal, we don't have many nature metallic single crystal. We only have some carbon-based nature created single crystal, such as diamond, okay? But also for the amorphous structure, it's also very difficult to produce. For this reason, these two types of material are mainly man-made material, and the polycrystalline material with defect is the majority of the material. So this is our normal envelope. So how to push our material out of this envelope to reach the property of single crystal and the property of amorphous material. So in the past, many people have developed single crystal for aerospace application. So inside of our engine, we have a lot of single crystal blade, and also amorphous material, as you know, will be and already in our mobile phone, okay? Sometimes we call it liquid metal, okay? Because that behaves like liquid. So I don't know. Today, I will present you two new technology that we have developed for producing the nano material. One of the technology called surface mechanical attrition processing. So basically, we use localized plastic deformation with repeat multi-directional loading to introduce nanostructure, which is good for the strength of the material. So basically, we use the technology similar than the preparation of the meat for the Chinese dumpling. So you can see here, to start with this, to cut the large grain to small grain, we need to generate the loading in all the directions so that we can have a small piece of the meat, okay? Then this material, if we have changed the nanostructure on the surface of the material, we can see the chemical reactivity become very special and very interesting because as the preparation of the tea egg, when you break the shell, which is the ground boundary, then the chemical product can be easily penetrated in the material. And for the Western people, you can refer to the steak tartare. It's the same process. The sauce can be easily penetrated inside of the meat if we have a small piece of material, a small piece of meat. So this is a very important issue. We have developed such technology to make it possible for generic application of the nanotechnology. So what does that make? First of all, that make many ladies happier. So why? Because this technology is able to produce very hard gold. As you know, pure gold or 24K gold are very soft. So it's very difficult to produce a product with this. So we have developed this smart technology and the new composition of the gold with only 1% additive, which is allowed for 24K gold in China and this region. So by this way, we can increase by 5 times the strength and the hardness of this gold. Then that makes it possible for many new jewelry industry. Why this technology is very interesting? Because it's unique. It's the only physical technology possible to make gold 5 times harder than the normal gold. The second example I want to show you is the best, so how to make use of the best property of one certain material. The example I want to show you is the steel. So we call it nano-twinning steel or hierarchical nano-twinning steel. So as you see, this was the envelope fixed by the European Union for 2030. So we succeed to push out this initial envelope and also to arrive this initial defined envelope for 2030. So we are now here for the development of the material. Why we need to develop such high strength, high ductility material? Because the need is huge for the electrical vehicle. So this is one example of the electrical vehicle. And you know, to protect the passenger and the driver, the energy absorption during the shock is a very important issue. For this reason, we have developed new energy absorber compared to the other technological solution. So one example is that this is a crash box developed by the Tesla. So this is a two box here. These are two most expensive components in steel inside of an electrical car. So for each electrical car, we can develop new energy absorber by integrating this advanced nanostructured material. After this integration, you can see the energy absorption property per unit of weight is much more higher compared to other technology and other solution. So this is a new breakthrough for the energy absorber and which can be used in the next generation of electrical vehicle. Because as you know, electrical vehicle is much more sensitive to the weight because for each kilogram of additional weight, we need to add it equivalent weight for battery. So for each kilo saving, then we can reduce the number of battery necessary for the design objective. So now, after the uniqueness, best and more important to me is the disruptive. Because with all this, you can only develop very progressive things. So recently, we have developed a new material called Supra-nano. We have successfully obtained a material with a core crystal is indicated here in the blue area, and in the yellow area, you have an amorphous structure. So this structure is very unusual, and we discover this material has an exceptional mechanical property. So compared to the normal magnesium alloy, the strength is much more higher, even compared to the high-strength metallic glass based on magnesium, the strength is 3 times higher. We obtain this structure by using physical vapor deposition. This is a quite conventional technology, but we design a new target so that we can obtain such specific structure, and this structure called Supernano. Supernano is very important, but it's the first time we are able to produce with very good distribution of nanocrystal lower than 10 nanometer with metallic glass around this nanocrystal. So the application is vague. Probably very soon in your next iPhone or any mobile phone, you will use this technology, and also that can be used for biodegradable implant. So uniqueness, best, disruptive are the ingredient to develop new products. So the last example I want to show you is one example which incorporates all these ingredients. So the technology we develop is a so-called metallic transformer. As you all know, metal sheet can only have one stable shape, okay? So I will show you our metallic material have a multiple shape. As you know, why the aircraft has less efficiency than bird, because one of the reasons is the wing is not so flexible compared to the bird. So in our case, our technology is very flexible. We can generate any shape, but this shape is stable. So for this reason, we can develop this kind of metallic transformer with very high strength. So the example here is another underwater system. So you can see this system start to work, okay? Then once it will be at the bottom of the aquarium, then they will move up. You can see here also the example. This is with camera, so you can see the camera take all the image around, okay? But with this specific technology, we can see the movie. We can generate the energy. As you know, the solar energy reservoir, the biggest one is the ocean, because the temperature on the top surface and the deep sea is totally different with 20-degree difference. We can collect this stored energy using this kind of system to develop the new system. Of course, no day without teamwork, you cannot succeed. So with the 3 ingredients, I do believe you need a team. So this is my team with my special thanks for them because they contribute to the achievement of this. So before I conclude, I think there is no boundary in the innovation of science and technology, okay? The research is the transformation of money into the knowledge. The innovation is the transformation of knowledge back into money with added value. For this reason, I do believe by pushing out the envelope, by developing disruptive, unique, and best discovery and innovation technology, we can succeed. So pushing envelope is an excellent concept for the future. I just illustrate our work in 3 examples for different attributes and showing this example as the integrative example. So thank you very much.